Okay, picture this. A football team wins, and they're so confident that their celebration is backflips.
Oh, wow.
You'd think, okay, that's just showing off.
Right. Yeah, maybe a little cocky.
But that's Sabo Strikers FC, the reigning champs of the Henry Holas Football Competition.
Oh, right.
And they're back to defend their title.
They're back, huh?
Starting tomorrow,
Oh, wow.
November 24th, 2024.
Big day.
We're diving deep into this competition today. You'll get the inside scoop on the opening match. We'll learn about some serious contenders hoping to take down the Strikers, and we'll even get into some essential safety tips for players. Consider this your pre-game warm-up.
I like that.
So, to guide our deep dive today, we've got excerpts from Henry Holas 2024, a day to kick off.
Okay.
We've got some visuals, too, just to get you hyped.
Yeah.
First up, the opening match, Sabo Strikers FC versus Oyo United FC.
Oyo United FC. Now, Oyo United FC, they're no pushover. They've got a strategic, controlled style of play that could really challenge the Strikers' more aggressive approach.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a fascinating clash of styles right out of the gate.
Yeah, and Oyo United's known for their discipline.
Yeah.
And patience on the field.
Yeah.
They wait for the perfect moment to strike.
Right.
But can they handle the Strikers' no-nonsense turbocharged plays? That dominated last year.
Right.
It's a real David versus Goliath situation.
It is. But,
remember,
David won that one.
That's right. So it all comes down to whether Oyo United can disrupt the Strikers' rhythm and exploit any defensive weaknesses.
Yeah, that'll be key.
Now, the Strikers, they're definitely the team to beat.
Oh, for sure.
But there are some serious contenders out there hoping to knock them off their pedestal.
Oh, yeah.
What are your thoughts on Espring FA?
Us. Yeah.
They seem to be generating some buzz.
Yeah. Spring FA, they're definitely one to watch. They've got the youngest squad in the tournament. Average player age of just 22.
Wow.
So combine that youthful energy with their hunger to prove themselves could make them a real threat.
Interesting.
They're known for their disruptive high-pressure tactics.
Yeah.
Which could really throw the Strikers off their game.
Yeah, they could be the dark horse of the tournament.
Absolutely.
And then there's LILFC.
Oh, yeah. LIL.
They always bring a tough physical game.
Yes, LILFC is known for that strong defense, often playing that 5-3-2 formation.
Oh, yeah.
Which can be really difficult to break down. They might not be the most flamboyant team, but that resilience, the tactical discipline, makes them a tough opponent for anyone.
Speaking of tough, let's talk about something crucial.
Okay.
Player safety.
Right.
The excitement of the game should never come at the cost of the player's well-being.
Right. Exactly.
It's great that the Henry Holas competition takes this seriously. And they've even outlined some safety tips.
Oh, okay.
Categorized by pregame, on-field, and postgame.
I see.
What really caught my eye is this emphasis on hydration.
Hydration.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds simple, but it's so crucial for players to be well hydrated before, during, and after a match.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Those games can get intense.
Absolutely.
And it's not just about drinking enough water.
Yeah.
It's about electrolytes, too.
Yeah.
Especially in a hot climate. Players need to replenish those lost salts to prevent cramping and fatigue.
Right.
Dehydration can really impact performance. And in some cases, it can even be dangerous.
Absolutely.
Another point they made that I thought was interesting was about tackling techniques.
Oh, okay.
So teaching players the proper way to tackle leading with the shoulder and not the head can significantly reduce the risk of head and neck injuries.
Right.
It's a reminder that even in a contact sport, safety should always be a priority. It's about playing smart and protecting yourself and your opponents.
Yeah.
And I was really impressed by the emphasis on reviewing game footage, not just for improving skills,
Oh, okay.
but for spotting potential safety hazards.
Interesting.
Maybe a player consistently uses a dangerous tackling technique, or a certain area of the field seems to lead to more collisions. Analyzing that footage can help coaches and players make adjustments to improve safety.
I see.
It's like having a second set of eyes looking for patterns and potential risks that might be missed in the heat of the moment.
Yeah. That's really smart.
So this focus on safety, it's really changing the culture of football.
Yeah.
It's moving away from that win-at-all-costs mentality.
Right.
It's a win for the players, the fans, and the sport itself.
I completely agree.
Speaking of winning, I'm curious about those Sabo Strikers.
Yeah.
And their pregame rituals.
Oh.
What do you think they do to get in the zone and maintain that dominant mindset?
Well, I bet they've got some unique rituals, maybe a team chant or a specific warm-up routine. I wouldn't be surprised if they even have a sports psychologist working with them on visualization techniques to help them maintain focus and manage pressure.
A strong mental game is just as important as physical skill, especially when you're the team that everyone's trying to take down.
Right. Yeah. You can't underestimate the role of the coach either in fostering that winning mentality.
Right.
The striker's coach must have a leadership style that balances that discipline, but also inspiration, pushing the players to their limits, but also building that sense of unity and camaraderie.
It's that team spirit,
Hmm.
that sense of shared purpose that can make all the difference in a tight match.
Absolutely. And that team spirit extends beyond the players themselves. It's the fans, too.
Oh, yeah.
Think about the energy in that stadium when those strikers take the field. It's going to be electric.
Oh, definitely. Those fans are a force to be reckoned with. They create an incredible atmosphere, like a wall of sound.
Right.
It can both intimidate opponents and inspire their own team.
And I wonder about the visual spectacle, too. I'm picturing those vibrant team jerseys, the perfectly manicured pitch, and, of course, those awe-inspiring backflips from the strikers.
It's a feast for the senses. It's not just a game, it's an experience.
Yeah.
And let's not forget the commentators, adding another layer of excitement with their expert analysis, their play-by-play commentary.
Yeah.
They're the storytellers, right? Weaving together the action on the field with insights and anecdotes that keep us glued to our seats.
And for those watching from home, those replays are crucial. Slowing down those incredible goals and tackles, analyzing every move. It's like having a front row seat to the action.
Yeah, it's all about capturing those moments that define the game, those flashes of brilliance that leave you speechless. But beyond the spectacle and the excitement, there are human stories behind those players. Their dedication, their sacrifices, their dreams of victory. That's what really resonates with me.
Absolutely. It's easy to get caught up in the wins and losses. But at the end of the day, these are real people with their own unique journeys, and we're privileged to witness their passion and athleticism on display.
Speaking of unpredictable journeys, while we've talked a lot about the striker's strengths, every team has a weakness, right?
Oh, of course.
What do you think could be their Achilles heel this year?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Perhaps they rely too heavily on individual brilliance and lack cohesive teamwork. Or maybe there's a vulnerability in their defense that a clever opponent could exploit. Only time will tell.
We'll have to see if any team can crack the code and take down the champs. But for now, let's shift our focus to one of the teams with the potential to do just that, Espring FA.
Now that's an interesting choice. What makes you think they have what it takes to challenge the strikers? What have you learned about their approach to the game?
Well, I've been doing a little research, and it seems like Espring FA, they've been steadily building momentum in recent seasons. They've got this young, energetic squad, and their tactical approach is all about disrupting their opponent's rhythm, forcing them to make mistakes.
Yeah, that's a smart strategy, especially against a dominant team like the Strikers. If Espring can get inside their heads, make them question their usual game plan, that could open up opportunities.
Right, and they seem to have this fearless attitude, not intimidated by big names or reputations. If they can maintain their composure under pressure, they could be a real problem for the Strikers.
It's all about mental fortitude in those high-pressure moments. The team that can stay focused and execute their plan when the stakes are high will have the advantage.
And Espring just might have a few surprises up their sleeve.
Oh.
They could catch the Strikers off guard.
Yeah, that element of surprise is what makes this competition so unpredictable and exciting. We could be in for some major upsets. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's talk about the venue for that opening match. That clash of titans between the Strikers and Oyo United.
Okay.
It's going down at a state-of-the-art stadium known for its electric atmosphere.
Yeah, I've heard it's an incredible venue with top-notch facilities and a design that really amplifies the energy of the crowd. It's going to be an epic showdown.
A great stadium can make all the difference, both for the players and the fans. It adds to the spectacle, enhances the drama, and creates an unforgettable experience for everyone involved.
Yeah, and with all the cameras capturing every angle, replays highlighting those key moments, commentators bringing the game to life, it's going to be a multi-sensory experience that draws viewers right into the heart of the action.
For those lucky enough to be there in person, it's a chance to be part of something truly special. The shared passion, the collective roar of the crowd, the thrill of witnessing athleticism at its finest. It's an experience you can't replicate.
Yeah, it really highlights the power of sports to bring people together from all walks of life, united by their love of the game. But before we get swept away in all the excitement,
Right.
let's circle back to that crucial topic of player safety.
Okay.
We touched on it earlier, but it deserves a deeper dive.
Absolutely. Player safety is paramount. And it's encouraging to see the Henry Holas competition taking proactive steps to protect the well-being of the athletes. They've put together a really comprehensive list of safety tips, broken down by pre-game, on-field, and post-game.
We talked about hydration earlier, but what else stands out to you in the pregame category?
You know what I'm particularly interested in is the emphasis on equipment checks. Making sure everything fits properly
Right.
and is in good condition can prevent a lot of potential injuries.
Right.
A loose cleat or a poorly fitting shin guard can make all the difference.
You're absolutely right. And I can't stress enough the importance of a proper warm-up and stretching routine. Preparing your body for the physical demands of the game is crucial to preventing muscle strains and other injuries.
Absolutely.
Now, moving on to on-field safety. One of the key takeaways for me is that emphasis on safe tackling techniques.
Yeah.
Leading with the shoulder, not the head, can drastically reduce the risk of serious head and neck injuries.
Right.
And, awareness of your surroundings is another vital factor.
Right.
Players need to be constantly scanning the field, keeping an eye on the ball, their opponents, their teammates, to avoid collisions.
Absolutely.
It's about being present in the moment, anticipating potential hazards,
Yeah.
and making smart decisions to protect yourself and those around you. And if an injury does occur, it's essential to report it immediately and follow the proper concussion protocol.
Exactly.
No playing through the pain.
No.
Player safety has to come first. Now, what about post-game recovery? What advice do they have for players after the final whistle blows?
Well, cooling down and stretching after a match is vital for muscle recovery, reducing soreness, and preventing those long-term injuries. And just as important as pre-game hydration is rehydrating after the game, those electrolytes need to be replenished.
One tip that I found particularly interesting is reviewing game footage after the match.
Oh, okay.
And not just for analyzing your performance,
Yeah.
but also for spotting any potential safety concerns.
Interesting.
Did I use proper tackling technique?
Right.
Were there any near misses or dangerous situations that we need to address?
I see.
That kind of reflection can be incredibly valuable.
It's like a debriefing session where players and coaches can analyze the game from a safety perspective.
Yeah, it's all about continuous learning and improvement, both in terms of skill and safety.
Absolutely. Now, let's shift gears back to the Henry Holas competition itself. We've talked about the reigning champions, the strikers, and their potential challengers. But there's another team that's been making waves, Oyo United FC.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned them earlier. I'm intrigued by their strategic approach to the game.
Yeah.
What have you gathered about their strengths?
Well, from what I've learned, Oyo United FC is all about controlling the tempo of the game. They're patient, disciplined, and wait for the perfect opportunity to strike. They're like a chess player, strategically positioning themselves for the win.
That kind of calculated approach could be a real challenge for the strikers, who are more known for their explosive all-out attack.
Exactly. It's that classic clash of styles, power versus finesse. Oyo United's strength lies in their ability to disrupt their opponent's rhythm, forcing them to play on their terms. And they've got a rock-solid defense, making them very difficult to score against.
So they can defend well and capitalize on their opponent's mistakes.
Right.
That's a dangerous combination.
They're not flashy, but they're effective. And they're not just about defense. They've got some creative midfielders who can orchestrate attacks and create scoring opportunities.
Yeah.
It's a well-balanced team
Yeah.
with a clear game plan.
And their coach is known for being tactically brilliant,
Oh, yeah.
able to motivate his players and adapt to different situations.
A strong leader is crucial, especially in a high-pressure tournament like this.
Yeah. So let's imagine Oyo United FC
Okay.
facing off against the reigning champs, Sabo Strikers FC. It would be a clash of titans, a battle of styles between dominance and strategy.
I like it.
Oh, I could already picture it. The strikers with their explosive plays and those signature backflips going head-to-head with Oyo United patiently building up their attacks and waiting for the perfect moment to strike.
It would be a fascinating matchup, a true test of wills. Could the strikers' raw power overcome Oyo United's strategic brilliance?
We've talked about the physical and tactical aspects of the game,
Yeah.
but let's not forget the psychological element.
Right.
The strikers, they might feel the pressure of being the favorites,
Yeah.
while Oyo United could thrive as the underdogs.
Absolutely. The mental game can make all the difference. Confidence, composure, the ability to handle pressure, these are crucial factors that can determine the outcome of a match.
Absolutely. And speaking of pressure, let's shift our focus to another crucial aspect of the Henry Holas competition. The referees.
Ah, the referees.
They're often in the spotlight, making split-second decisions that can impact the game.
They are the guardians of the game, responsible for ensuring fair play and upholding those rules. It's a high-pressure rule, and they're constantly under scrutiny from players, coaches, fans alike.
And, with the introduction of video assistant referees, VAR, in many football competitions,
Oh, yeah.
the way the game is officiated is evolving.
Yeah,
It's definitely a controversial topic,
it is.
with valid arguments on both sides.
Oh, for sure.
Some argue that VAR improves accuracy and reduces human error, while others believe it disrupts the flow of the game and takes away from that spontaneity of the sport.
Right. It can definitely slow things down.
It's a complex issue, and it'll be interesting to see how technology continues to shape the future of football. But for now, let's bring it back to the Henry Holas competition. The tournament is just around the corner, and anticipation is building.
Oh, absolutely.
It's time for predictions and speculation.
I love it.
Who do you think will emerge victorious? Will the Savo Strikers defend their title? Or will we see a new champion crowned?
Oh, it's anyone's guess at this point. But one thing is for certain. We're in for a thrilling competition filled with drama, excitement, and unforgettable moments.
And as we gear up for the opening match, let's remember, it's not just about the final score.
Right.
It's about the passion, the dedication, the sportsmanship that make football such a captivating sport.
It's about celebrating athleticism, teamwork, the pursuit of excellence.
Well said. Now, before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, let's highlight the cultural significance of the Henry Holas competition. It goes beyond just the sport itself. It brings communities together, fosters this sense of shared identity and pride.
Absolutely. It's a platform for showcasing local talent, inspiring young athletes, promoting the values of hard work, discipline, and fair play. And let's not forget the economic impact, the sponsors, the revenue for local businesses, the job creation.
Yeah, it's a win-win for everyone involved. It contributes to the growth and development of football in the region, showcasing the power of sports to bring people together and have a positive impact. So, before we move on to the next part of our deep dive, let's quickly recap some of the key insights we've covered.
Sounds good. Let's make sure those points are crystal clear for our listener.
We started by introducing the reigning champs, the Savo Strikers FC, and their impressive record. Then we explored some of the teams looking to dethrone them, like Espring FA with their youthful energy and disruptive tactics, and Oyo United FC, known for their strategic play and strong defense.
We also dove into the importance of player safety, highlighting the competition's commitment to protecting the athletes through preventative measures, proper techniques, and post-game recovery.
And we touched on the broader significance of the Henry Holas competition, both culturally and economically, showing how it goes beyond just the game itself to impact the community in positive ways.
Yeah. We've covered a lot of ground, and I'm looking forward to continuing our exploration in the next part of our deep dive.
Me too. We'll be taking a closer look at the history of the Henry Holas competition, uncovering some fascinating stories and insights that will deepen our understanding of this incredible tournament.
And we'll be discussing the role of media coverage and social media in amplifying the excitement and reach of the competition, bringing it to a global audience.
So stay tuned for more in-depth analysis, engaging discussions, and of course, a healthy dose of football fever.
Until then, keep those predictions coming.